Welcome back, everyone. It's Sunday afternoon, and that can only mean one thing. It's time to play Dungeons and Dragons. You're watching Dice and Dungeons, and I'm here at the table with...
I'm David Wong. I played Nines at Tabaxi Bar.
Dude, your internet, it's the top of the show, and your internet already sucks.
You want me to shut off my download then?
What download?
The thing I'm downloading that's legal.
Really? Do you have a download going?
No, I don't. It just my stream is brought to you by AT&T.
All right. Do you have you reset your router this week? I know you reset it every week. Have you done like the restart on it?
Yeah, you know what? I think I have a better idea.
Okay.
Hold on.
Well, Zoom virtual reality is getting better all the time. You'd swear he was in the room with us.
Wow. Huh. Well, I guess all that metaverse stuff they've been doing, pretty effective, right?
You guys are a lot shorter in real life.
Thank you.
Hey, shit.
I'm looking at this though, and the framing isn't quite working. You guys are really having to squeeze in, and it's all right. Hang on a sec, I'll fix this. Hey, I think that looks pretty good.
Yeah, that looks great.
Looks like you're almost really here.
Almost. Huh.
Well, how about
I
that?
want guidance. Ow!
So everyone, we've been spending the last couple of weeks completely redesigning our studio down here so that all three of the players could be in the same space at the same time with me. And we did this because after shooting the Halloween special, we realized how much could be gained by being in a room together. I'm sure that most of our viewers have played some amount of tabletop gaming over Zoom during the pandemic, and it just isn't quite the same as being at the table. And it wasn't for our show either. So we invested a significant amount of time and money into getting David in here so that we could all be together and the role-playing could really benefit.
And soon we'll kick Nikki out.
What?
We'll talk later.
So the upshot is obvious. All four of us can be in the same room
Can't kick you
together.
out.
We can all banter off of each other a lot more. But there is a little bit of a catch. Because we are all in the same place at the same time, it means that our schedules have to, well, come together just so. And because of that, we are switching to a pre-recorded model. So what that means is that instead of doing live shows on Sunday, where we could be, well, three of us had to be in the studio, but David could be where he needed to be on Sundays, which wasn't here. So we're going to be recording these on days that do work for us, and that means that we won't be live on Sundays. But it also means that we can bring you a lot more action, a lot more fun, and do a lot more bantering. We apologize if any of our announcements or interplay with each other seem just slightly off, because they might be a week or two behind what's going on right now. But we think this will be overall a whole lot better. I'm already enjoying being able to look over and actually see you.
Wow, you are the first person to ever say that.
And maybe the only.
And the last.
I'm sorry. So, why don't we try introducing the three of you one more time? Take it from the top.
I am David Wong. I play Nines the Tabaxi Bard, and Nines the Tabaxi Bard plays the gong.
I'm Nicole Bates, and I play Soria. She's a changeling druid, and she doesn't play any instruments.
She can.
Nope.
I'm Greg. I'm playing Ulseth Ralph, the Furbog Fighter. And
What do you fight?
Everything. Non-legally.
Everything non-lethally.
Oh. Is that what we do here?
Yes.
And I am Alexis Bates, your trusty dungeon mistress. In addition to all the changes that we just told you about, we do have a couple other announcements. First is another giveaway sponsored by our friends at Geekified. Geekified, of course, is a tabletop role-playing game. Tabletop role-playing store.
Where can I buy them?
Or game.
It's a great game.
If we were pre-recorded, we could edit that out.
If we were pre-recorded, we could edit that out. I'm not gonna, because honesty.
Why don't you go to your DM only cam so they can see the cool book?
I will. Geekified is a tabletop gaming store out of Vinton, Iowa
First
that
try.
takes in-store and online orders for all of your tabletop role-playing game needs. This month, well, actually last month, because this came out the tail end of October, the new book, Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, which is a little bit smaller than the previous expansion book for D&D 5th edition, which was Wild Witchlight. Fizban's does a whole lot of character optioned expansions, so all of the different ways you can design your character. Most critically, this opens up
Playing as a dragon.
playing as a dragon and more dragonborn bloodline traits.
Yeah.
So there are the usual chromatic dragons, metallic dragons, and gem dragons. Those are new to 5th edition.
So your dragon can be a crystal gem.
I get it.
Steven Universe joke.
We will be giving away this copy. I'm going to cut back to my camera again. We're going to be giving away this copy of the limited art edition of Fizban's Treasury of Dragons on
So
our
pretty.
channel. It really is. When I first saw the art, I was not super enthused. It's like, oh, it's a little subdued. After a while, Beyond the Witchlight, which was like, whoa.
But when you have it in your hands and you like see the shininess of it.
Yeah. The camera actually gets this kind of well. It's not bad. It looks even better in person. It's a very sort of softly illustrated. There's a lot of brushstroke elements in here that are just super beautiful. It's one of the more interesting expansions they have done with 5th edition because it changes all of the options you have for character design so radically and opens up a whole lot of dragon element role-playing that actually really hasn't existed in 5th edition thus far. They had quite a bit of it in 3rd edition fairly early on, but 5th edition has been lacking for quite some time. So the book is pretty exciting. This is particularly cool for the world we play in because there are a whole lot of dragons.
Red dragon.
Red dragons specifically in our world. And dragons play an important part in our storytelling. We will be giving this away, and if you want a chance to win that book, here's what you need to do. You need to head over to our Instagram, which is Dice N Dungeons, that's the letter N. That's our profile on Instagram. You need to follow our account, and then send us a private message. And that message needs to say, Fizban's, which is the title of the book. Don't worry too much about spelling, but you can look it up. It's Fizban
But it
apostrophe S.
has to have the apostrophe.
None of the other letters matter.
Yeah.
You could just no, just
There are a couple of necessary restrictions on the giveaway that we've done before. You must be 18 years or older to enter, and you must be a U.S. resident. So,
Not a U.S. citizen. You just need to have a mailing address, right?
yeah, you just need to live here.
Yeah.
You just need to live within the U.S. That's all.
Yeah.
So, if you want to win this copy of Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, given away by our channel and sponsored by Geekified out of Vinton, Iowa, head over to Instagram, follow us over there, and send us a DM that says Fizban's. And that's it. So I gotta do. Good luck. The end of that giveaway will be December 4th, and we will announce the winner on December 5th. And to alleviate anyone's questions, just like I did with the Halloween special, I will record a little stinger to go on the tail end of that episode so that you really do have until
the 4th.
midnight on the 4th to enter. Really, you do. We're gonna get that in after we tape that episode. So, go over there, enter, and hopefully you win. I think that's the only announcement we have right now.
Other than just support Geekified, go to their website, right?
Yeah, I should throw in the URL. If you want to support Geekified and help our show out, you can head over to geekified.us/discount/dice and dungeons. Anything you buy through that link on your first time will get you 5% off of your order, and anytime you purchase through that link, it helps support the show and helps support Geekified, which has been a really amazing sponsor for us, and they've been with us from the beginning. We appreciate them a great
Thank
deal.
you, Geekified.
Thank you.
You're the
And
best.
just a shout out to Andrew directly. He owns Geekified. He's been so great over the past couple of months helping us out, coming up with great ideas. There are even a few other things that he's been sending us that might be giving away in December.
Yeah.
It's the holiday season.
Yeah, it is. So we might be giving away a couple of other fun little trinkets that he's been sending in addition to these giveaway books. So thank you, Andrew at Geekified. I really appreciate working with you. I think that's the end of announcements.
Let's go kill some otters.
Wow, that's a
Wow.
real easy way to get the DM to kill us.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Dungeoneers, let's roll. Welcome back, Dungeoneers. Last week on Dice and Dungeons, the party was resting in an old pirate safe house when they were interrupted by the Voices manager and 4 ogres. The ogres attacked quickly, but after some cunning actions and suggestions by the party, they were able to repel them in short order. However, they weren't able to repel the mortar fire that started moments later. Forced to retreat into the cave system underneath Krebstadt, they wandered for some hours through the dark, cavernous tunnels. And we rejoin them now, as they are encountering a colony of sea otters.
Do you still have speak with... Do we still have speak with animal?
I can speak
no.
to them.
They wore off.
Oh.
I can speak to them. I just cannot understand what they say.
Tell them to get us out of here.
Hello, otters. You who are otters. I believe you are otters. We think you are very cute.
I'll throw them a smoked fish.
Not very graceful otters, are they?
That's a.
Are we rolling initiative?
You are otters.
I've
Please
done a
be
lot
more
of things
cautious in the
here.
studio.
That is the very first time I've ever knocked the screen over. Ooh, that was a good one.
I'm glad I was here to experience that.
So you who are otters, we do think you are very cute, and I hope you appreciated the fish. Please do not do that again.
Throw him a fish. I throw him a fish a little closer to the screen.
Throw them a fish on the other side, this side.
Yeah, I just set a fish over on the other side of the screen. Damn it. Okay.
I want the fish.
We are very much lost
Right,
in this labyrinth of a cave. The giant clam. Do you know the giant clam? Yeah. The giant clam told us to come this way, and this would be the way to an exit. Could you assist us by leading us out of these
About
caves?
expelling spell slot.
The otters look around, and they're sort of doing little chirps and barks and squeaks. And then all but one of them goes down on all four paws. And one of them is still standing up. And that one does this little paw gesture like, come with me.
I'm a druid. I know these things. Nines, you have to marry this otter in order to get passage.
I really have to take one for team.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, at least it's cute.
I'm sure you will be very happy together.
All right. No, it's
I
just
don't want to be able to only talk to them for 40 minutes a day.
Yeah. Sometimes when you are married, that is probably enough.
Is there a dating advice with Olsef? Like many we can do?
let's see.
I have
he
no
grew
idea
up
what
a
I'm talking
hermit.
about.
He grew up as a hermit, then lived with an old elf, died.
Yes.
Yeah.
And since then have been hanging out with you.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
We need to get you.
I'll ask Joel about it later.
I was just,
Yes, Dole, master of romance.
Yeah, probably. He's probably studied it.
I am sure.
All right, let's follow the otter.
We will follow the otter.
Wait, can I insight check these otters to make sure they're not evil and leading us to an early grave?
Sure.
Guidance.
This would be a short
Alright.
campaign.
17.
You don't have any reason to suspect that these otters are trying to deceive, harm, or otherwise injure you.
Okay. These otters seem to be on the level.
Which level?
The sub level. Or underground.
Yes, I will follow fully creatures. Fully? Furry.
You are a trustworthy otter. We will follow you.
They all sort of look around. The one that was still standing up goes down. And they all, as a group, scurry. And they're running.
We will
We
follow.
will follow.
From the channel that you entered in, and wandered into this fairly large room, they start running.
I'm using my orb of direction so
Yeah.
you can give us cardinal directions.
They start running a little south, but mostly towards the west. And they scamper on for maybe 150 feet or so, and you see an opening in these walls towards a narrow passage. Cut through this passage, lasts maybe 20, 30 feet at the most.
What direction?
This is west by southwest. And it leads into another large room. One of the otters sort of stands up, not fully, but pops up and goes and gestures kind of like down.
These are very
And-
smart creatures.
And it gets on all fours and sort of walks slowly, each step with purpose, on the ground.
I think it's trying to make sure the ground won't collapse underneath us. Seth, it'd be polite for you to clomp ahead really loudly to see if there's any loose earth.
You should do an insight check.
No, I think it's
I
a
walk
stealth.
along as quietly as I can, and I stoop.
Okay.
We will stealth.
Who goes first?
I'll go first.
You're in the lead?
Yeah.
Okay. This room is opening up into a fairly large and oval shape. You're starting to get this sense The walls on your left and right, as you're heading southward through this room, they are closer than the wall on the far end, which is out of your line of sight. The floor, as you take your first step out into this area, it kind of sinks beneath you ever so slightly.
I was actually
As though
kind
you're
of
stepping
right.
into some sort of mud. It dips down maybe quarter-inch, half-inch or so, as your foot presses through some sort of organic material.
Oh, it's organic.
Yeah. Nines, you pick up on this fairly quickly. It doesn't feel necessarily pleasant between your little beans, but...
Yeah, I have shoes on.
Yeah, you have weird shoes.
Oh, that's right, you are wearing weird shoes.
Magic shoes.
Your weird magic shoes.
If you widen them, they'll disperse your weight over this more.
Yes, I know,
Okay.
but I'm not sinking yet.
And forgotten about your ridiculous clown shoes.
No clown can afford these shoes.
That was the problem with them. That's why you got them.
At a discount.
Yes.
Well done.
I should have got paid to take them.
You didn't roll high enough on that persuasion check for that one. It
Maybe
was
next.
possible to get paid for that one.
Can I tell? Are we in like algae, seaweed? What's?
Why don't you make a knowledge nature check?
With some guidance?
Yeah.
That's bad. 9.
Why do you say that bad?
Oh, you know why.
Since you've been able to go into caves before, you think it might be an algae.
I will check just to.
Oh, Seth, take a bite. See what it tastes like.
I will do a nature check also
All right.
Good.
with guidance. Since I have had some natural training. 9, 12, 15.
You're pretty sure that this is algae.
Okay.
You haven't spent quite as much time delving through caves as Soria has, but it seems like that's what it is. As you dip down and scrape a little bit up with your hand, it sort of goops a bit. It's a little slimy. It doesn't smell like the sea.
And it seems
you glad you
it
did?
feels like we could sink into it.
No, I mean, not very far. You do sink a little. It moves as you press.
Does it go?
Yeah, it does.
Of course, yeah.
And then you like eye stalks that pop out and look at us.
Make a perception.
Are we in a trash compactor? Guidance. Wow, I'm rolling great. 13.
You don't see any eye stalks or any other threats. This particular room, you do notice, doesn't have that many stalagmites or stalactites. It's not quite as cavey as some of the other rooms, but you don't feel any sort of threat in here. It smells less like the sea and more like it just needs a little fresh air. It's a little musty.
Well, let's just go carefully like the otters.
Yes. You who are the wonderful otters that are leading us most trustfully, we will continue to follow you.
They're going to kill us all, aren't they?
They continue leading through here. And Soria, you were taking the lead?
Yeah.
Okay. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
12.
You take a step forward, then followed by another. You start to feel just a little confident on this surface, and you take one step with just a little too much vigor, and you slip and fall promptly on your butt.
I'm immediately turned into a fox. To lighten my weight.
Okay. You are a fox.
So as
Have
I turn as I'm falling, so when I go.
Why don't you make a wisdom saving throw to see if you can react that quickly?
19.
Sure. You can.
That's when you roll
You
well?
can pull off your turn into a fox.
I just climb my way up on Ulsa's shoulders.
You who are most helpful otters, do not be alarmed. This is something that this individual does all the time.
I'm a fox.
Pay no attention to the fox on my shoulders.
Can we leave now?
The others continue, stepping forward, one by one, moving their way across the room. They're heading in now more of a due southwest direction, veering off to the right end of this, or the right side of this room. Since you are next in line, why don't you make a dexterity saving throw? What's that?
Roll with disadvantage because you have a fox on your back.
And I'm clawing into him. And giving. I
Digging right
can't
in.
give guidance as an animal.
I don't know all that much about like fox anatomy.
It's not like a cat. It's more like a dog.
That's what I
9.
thought. So,
How come there's
worst
so many
number.
9s?
so your ability to clamber up Ulseth is more. Ulseth lifted you up
I
onto
just want-
his shoulders.
Until you got me.
However, Ulseth
Did you roll
has
with it?
now also fallen on his ass.
Ah! You fell!
I try and climb up on 9s now.
Ah, fox!
Ulseth is covered in algae.
Not my armor.
No, not your armor. You are.
Everything else.
Some of the algae that would have hit your armor just got splooshed onto you. Mm-hmm. You kind of stink now with all this algae that's on top of you.
Oh, why did I turn into something with a keen smell?
It doesn't smell great in here. All right, you keep going along, following these otters, making adorable little squeaks. So,
If they're gonna keep falling over, I'm going to activate my shoes so I have more surface area to work with.
okay,
I tap my heel. Was it 3 times or just once?
I think
I feel like it was 3.
it's 3 times. I think I
There's no
followed
place like
the,
home. There's no
Yeah.
place like home.
I think I followed the Wizard of Oz rules on this one. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw as your shoes expand.
11.
Your shoes, being made for, how should I say this, comedy rather than anything of function or use, cause you instead to be very ill-weighted. As now you have a great deal of surface area that is all sticking in this algae and not pulling up evenly. So you tap your shoes 3 times, pull slightly, and you find that the difference in force as some of the algae is just sucking the front end of these shoes in.
Because they're not like rigid, are they?
No,
Yeah.
that would be useful. These shoes are not useful.
Not yet.
There will be a time.
To be fair, they've been very useful. You haven't left any paw prints all over lately.
Can I deactivate them without falling over?
Well, you've already fallen over. You are now face first in the algae, and I need you, Soria, to make a dexterity saving throw since you
As a
are on.
fox.
Why is this the most dangerous part we've gone through so far? We just fought ogres, and now we can't get across algae.
Let me look up what a fox's save is. 13.
Well, you managed to get off fairly gracefully from 9s as he's tumbling forward.
Can I just land on his face?
And now, well, his face is in the
Oh,
algae.
he fell forward.
He fell forward. So he's just completely covered in this green slime, and you land forward.
We're like on Nickelodeon in the 90s
Yeah,
right
pretty
now.
much. This is just slime. Was it slime or?
You got slimed, I think.
Yeah, slime, yeah.
What was that it? I feel like it was like
Well,
something
there
special.
was Gak.
But that was like a product.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it ooze? I don't know.
I feel like it was just slimed.
We'll look it up later.
Yeah, we'll look it up later.
Or you can put it in the comments right now.
Which
Those of you who know what we're talking about, put it in
To get
chat.
through this,
You
we're-
30-year-olds watching right now.
Who definitely watched
To get
Super
through-
Sloppy Double Dare.
to get through this and discover the legend of the Inn Temple, we're gonna need extreme guts.
I got all that and more.
so I looked it up and it's just slime.
Yeah.
It's just slime.
You can still comment about it.
And it's very, very green.
Yeah.
It's actually more green than this algae, although the algae is very green. So you are now face down in this algae. You're inhaling all of the wonderful odors that come with algae as they are inside your nostrils.
Well, now that my feet are in the air, I would like to click my heels 3 more times.
No, your feet are not in the air. Your shoes have... See, you never ran cross-country. So, to the viewers who have run cross-country, inevitably, at some point, you ran through a course so muddy and so disgusting that either you or one of your teammates lost a shoe while you were running through that muck. And the muck holds onto your shoes so strongly that you simply slip out of your shoes. You are now experiencing that. Although the shoes have not let go. You're just in this weird sort of contortion where, like, the heels are sort of stretching up, but the front end of these massive clown shoes you have are firmly stuck.
Oh, bro. Oh.
Can I?
You managed to jump off and you look fairly graceful and land. However, when you landed, the force of your jump propels you forward, and you now are sliding towards Ulset's rear end along the slime-covered floor.
Am I sliding past the otters, or are they like ahead of us?
They're ahead of you. You've moved about 20 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. Are they looking back and laughing?
Oh, yes. You're fairly certain. The otters... It's hard to know if an otter is laughing for sure, but if you had to guess, they're probably cackling right now.
I hate the otters.
You are sliding towards Ulseth's butt, because he has fallen over. Nines fell over. You jumped off of Nines and are now skating right back towards Ulseth.
Can I do like a half pipe ollie over the top of Ulsa?
Sure. Why don't you make an acrobatics check?
Some other sort of skateboarding terms that I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either.
It's half on 2 and half on 20. Should I re-roll it?
I'm gonna say that, yeah, that's edge. Go ahead.
2.
Much better.
So 5 total.
That was a great reroll.
You...
1.
That was well worth it.
I just wanted to see. Alright.
It was ever so slightly more towards the 2, and I had debated just saying, I just take the 2, and then you got it anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Too slow out.
you lose all your balance, your feet are like flailing underneath you, and you are now... You crash very lightly into the back of Ulsa.
Merp.
know how to make...
Bubbles coming out from the altar.
Can I get up?
I'm just gonna.
I love that all I did was throw a slimy floor at the 3 of you,
Yeah.
and now you're all broken.
I'm just gonna try and mimic.
Just so defeated.
I'm just gonna try and mimic the otters and carefully pull my way through.
Okay.
I try to pull myself up.
All right. Soria, make an acrobatics check. And Nines, make a. Why don't you make an athletics check?
17.
Because I suck at athletics.
After taking the clue and now being on 4 paws, you figured out how to sort of navigate through the slime and the muck, just 1 paw at a time.
And the dampness.
Yes, it's moist in here.
I'm gonna
Do I-
have several respiratory diseases.
Probably. And a rash. What was your athletics?
I got a 13 on my athletics.
Well, since your shoes were stuck, you managed to get yourself back up by using your shoes, which are firmly stuck, essentially as a counterweight. So you are now standing again.
I will click them 3 times,
All right.
shrink them down,
They revert back to normal size.
and see what everyone else is doing. Because my face was in algae for the last, essentially, turn.
Yeah.
You should pull yourself up, yeah.
I should stand up too, yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you make an athletics check?
I can do that. 24.
You just do like a handstand out of it.
Despite feeling perhaps a bit
Slimy.
humbled and slimy, you managed to get yourself up without really much difficulty.
I will also go on all 4s. That's natural of tabaxi when no one's looking.
Okay.
I look.
I stand up.
It's like the, what was it, Mystery Men?
Oh, I'm invisible as long as no one's
I was
looking.
looking at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we just reliving the 90s today?
Yep.
Apparently.
Somebody.
You who are most helpful otters, we apologize for the delay.
Oh, that
I am
don't
glad
seem to
that
mind.
I am glad that you enjoyed it. You may now proceed.
Can
We will
get this
we will
algae
attempt to
place now?
continue to entertain you.
So we've
Don't
got
tell him that.
Soria's a
Oh, yeah.
fox, Nines on, well,
It's a cat.
hands and feet, I guess?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And, well, Seth, you're still walking on 2 feet.
Yes,
Okay.
carefully.
Nines and Soria are very slowly moving across this surface. You're a bit more challenged, having only 2 points of stabilization. Well, Seth, make another dexterity saving throw.
You can't get much grosser. That would be 20. Dirty 20.
You seem to have found your balance, however, within this muck pile, which is actually rather impressive. So, you move through most of the rest of the room, and you get to the end of this, as the oval-shaped room has narrowed towards a point. And the otters show 2 different passageways. One going northwest, the other going southeast. And the otters gesture towards the northeast, or the northwest passage. And
Really?
what?
The Northwest Passage.
It's part of Alaska.
Yes, it's the northwest passage.
Okay.
It's also a passage facing northwest.
Like, that's what it is. No pun intended here. They point towards the northwest passage, and a few of them sort of gather together, and they stand straight, and some of them kind of put their like little paws kind of up and kind of over their heads, and they duck down a little bit and make this sort of pointy shape.
Well, Steph, I think they're
Yeah.
going to sacrifice us to their god.
And
That is what it
then
looks like.
they sort of reset, and they point towards the southeast passage. And the southeast passage, they have a couple of otters sort of jumping. So a series of otters lays down flat on the ground. And then other otters sort of jump and kind of undulate
This is so elaborate.
behind them. And then they put up their arms, kind of shrugging, and wait for your input.
You who used to be helpful otters,
I can't talk. I must talk.
could you please just tell us which of these two passages leads to the outside?
But not the outside we canyon.
They all nod.
I think both lead there.
I'll start going towards the
One goes
triangle
to maybe.
Which one's least dangerous? That's a bad sign.
They can't understand you.
I will ask, which of these two passages offers the least amount of deadly danger?
Just non-lethal danger.
Let's
Which is
take a
safer?
look at this. They sort of point towards the northwestern passage.
I'll start going that
I
way.
think there will be spiky, pointy things there.
Yeah, probably like a giant shark whose mouth will be inside out.
And that they were
You didn't tell
representing.
me sharks was an adventure.
I'm a fox. You can't hear me.
I can't understand you either.
No, I just went.
Pointing toward the northwest.
No, I just started walking to the
Okay,
northwest.
we'll go to the northwest.
Do I smell anything weird coming as I walk?
Smell two of us.
Make a perception check.
And since I'm smelling, I get. Oh wait, no, I don't get keen smell as a fox. Dang. Well, that's all right. 17.
Okay. With this passage, you get more of like a limestone cave smell coming from this direction. You know, some sort of stagnant water smell. There's a lot of. I mean, it just is very cavey this way. You're leaving this scent of algae and organic material, and you're going into more of a wet cave. Is what
better.
you get from this direction.
Is Captain Bob still with us? Yes, of course, right?
Yeah, of course, yes.
Why didn't he fall down?
He just
You didn't roll for it.
walked across. Fine.
He followed the otters. He got down on his hands and knees right away. And mostly because he's the random NPC character that's momentarily
dragged
following
along.
you guys around and don't always narrate his actions unless they're relevant to the story.
I climb onto his shoulders so that it's required to be narrated all the time.
You know, I've had many animals climb on my shoulders over the years.
Why?
Squirrels, parrots, never a fox.
What's the weirdest one you've had?
The strangest one I've had? Probably the southern Nivinian jumping spider. It made a little nest right on my shoulder. Stayed there for several months.
Did you not shower that whole time?
I mean, it was in my jacket. And it quite liked it. It actually spun a little web that spelled out hello.
Do you have pig?
Do I have a pig?
Was it Charlotte?
No, Charlotte was lost in the far northern ices.
I crawl on your shoulders.
I continue to follow the otters.
Are you really making a reference to National Treasure?
Am I?
The fox bites the captain in the neck.
Ow!
It's, my bite attack, that's 23 to hit.
Sure. Yeah. You,
It's 1 damage. I can't. You don't even roll for it.
Ow. Why? I like Nicolas Cage.
Everyone likes Nicolas Cage.
Who is Nicolas Cage? Please, no. It is
pirate.
fine. Do not tell me. I continue to follow the otters
Okay.
in my dexterous walk.
You continue to follow this northwestern passage. After about 30, 40 feet, it arcs back, going now southwest. And you continue on to a room that was a little reminiscent of one you've seen before. It could even be the same one you haven't seen from this angle, this part, but this room is filled with stalactites. They're bright white and very thin, long, and high above you. The otters look around as you enter into this room, which is far across. You can't see the other side of the wall. And both the walls on your left and right, which are roughly your left south and your right north, they continue on beyond your vision. The otters look at the four of you, and they point at one of the stalagmites on the ground, and then one of the stalactites on the ceiling, you can see. And they go and cover their mouth with their paws. And one of them sort of mimes this action of stepping very lightly.
These are very smart otters.
I do believe they are
must
trying to
do
tell
trap.
us this is a trap.
Do you call out like that?
Well, also talk to me, so I was responding.
Okay. When you do that, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Both you
I'm on the
and
captain's shoulders.
the captain, and I'm guessing you were near Ulseth?
No, I'm just calling it. He talked to me, so I didn't say me.
Okay, so you made the captain go in the lead now.
While he was
Hey.
following the otters.
Then pull up the captain's stat block here. Because that one's kind of close.
What?
Usually I'm the one gaying us into trouble here.
Yeah, you're not doing your job. What's up?
Some other fox causing problems.
What the fuck?
What does fox say? Moving on.
The captain dodges back just in time. What was your
9.
result?
The worst number.
The best number.
The captain jumps back just in time as one of the stalactites falls from the ceiling and smashes into the ground where he was just standing. You, however, get thrown from his shoulders and land now on the ground.
Do I take damage?
No,
Okay.
you do not.
I should see how much hit points.
But
this one
you
says.
do. You do look a little bust.
I'm already covered in algae. Oh.
You're looking fairly matted at this point. As you are now first coated in algae, and now you have
Dust.
a dusting of. Well,
Limestone.
you can taste this. It's salt. It's a fine dusting of salt that is congealing the algae into your fur now. You
Pickled,
up?
pickled
The
algae.
fox is being seasoned.
You know, people pay a lot for this sort of treatment at beauty parlors.
Yeah, they do.
Just saying.
dipped in algae
And
then
salted.
salt. You know, I've gone to a fair number of like spas over my life. I've never been salted while I was there.
You know, never had a salt rub.
But a salt rub, but never just
That's what
like,
this is.
here, let this salt just, we're gonna put some algae on you, and then we're gonna put salt in it.
You haven't gone to the
Apparently.
good salons.
I like to imagine like one of those giant old diner salt shakers, and they just have that at the spa. Just like,
All right, let's follow the otters.
quietly.
Quietly. I'm stealthily moving through the stalactite stalagmite maze.
All right,
I'll follow.
all of you need to make a dexterity, not a saving throw.
Stealth check?
You know, yeah, why don't we call this a stealth check? Because even though it's not necessarily about hiding your presence, it is about being quiet.
22.
I've got my sneaky boots on, so I have advantage. Which didn't really much matter. Stealth 21.
What was
Nat
yours?
20, so it's a 25.
What was yours today?
25 total.
22, 25, 21, and the captain rolled 23.
Wow.
So you are
But he's a
all
rogue, so.
you are all moving quite stealthily through this maze of stalagmites and stalactites. The ceiling above you has a few cracks where sunlight is cutting through, probably 100, 150 feet above you. But it's these stalactites at just the right angles, and there's bouncing light off the salt crystals, making sort of a dull, yet still beautiful rainbow illusion over a lot of the ceiling in this room.
Is ceiling salt exotic?
Everyone make a dexterity saving throw.
You asked me a question?
You don't have to answer by screaming.
Have you met a fox? They only have that mode.
Oh, jeez. 9. Believe it or not, 9.
9. Okay.
12.
12. Okay.
Nat 1. So 4.
Okay. Well,
We wasted that stealth check for nothing.
Well, don't talk to me when I'm a fox, then. It's impolite to just ignore someone.
you all take. Where's that? You all take 5 points of damage
5.
as a fair number of stalactites come raining down on top of you. The captain manages to jump forward out of the way, but you three, whose reactions are just slightly slower apparently, have large chunks of salt crystal bashing down on your backs, your head, crashing into the floor and throwing up sharp shards, cutting you in places.
Putting salt in the
I'm
wounds.
knocked out of my fox form.
Yes. You are no longer a fox.
Hi.
Hi, thanks.
I throw salt crystal at her.
I mean, it probably hits, unless you really want to roleplay this one out and, like,
It's
attack.
playful.
I'm
As
gonna,
playful as I can get after taking 5 damage.
I'm gonna put some salt in my bag.
Oh, okay. So you're taking a little seasoning with you then, huh?
Yep.
It's very good. You get hit with a bit of salt. You
Got assaulted.
get assaulted. And you have now a supply of sea salt. Say, I don't know, a pound. Gather up a fair bit of it. You continue to make your way south through this room.
Are we going back the way we came?
And then the otters are leading you towards a passage on your right that heads due west. This passage leads to a T-junction. And they take, of the two paths, they go north. And then, another T-junction just 20 feet later. And this time they lead you westward. This passage goes on for 70, 80 feet or so, winds around. And you start to notice through these winding corridors that bit of webbing appears on the edges.
Now we're back at the spider room.
After traveling maybe 100 yards through this particular passageway, it opens up into a room filled with webs, some egg sacs, and you hear some soft skittering and clicking. The others continue to press on, though.
Maybe they're friendly spiders. And this is their neighborhood.
They move right through.
Maybe.
And as quickly as you enter this room, you end up leaving. It goes back south to another passage. Just maybe 20, 30 feet from the passageway you entered into the spider room through. Down through another corridor, twists gently, come to another T-junction, and they take a path that leads south and west. And after maybe 100 yards again, you find yourself right back where you started.
Yep, we asked to get out.
The otters look around, sort of puzzled.
Maybe we should have told them that,
There's some debris here, and the passageway that they were leading you towards is now blocked in the wonderful resting room here.
I saw this coming.
The otters are scratching their heads, shrugging.
is there other way out? Let's have asked them that.
Thank you very much for taking us here, Otters. This was a lot of fun exploring the cave, but now we would like to go to the...
They look about. You get the sense that maybe a few of them are insulting your intelligence. They gave you two options and now you didn't like your choice.
We can't escape this place.
They're a little annoyed, but they make their way back out.
Do not be annoyed with us. We are not always very good in caves. In fact, never are we good in these things. We'll give you more fish.
And I'll throw one really close to the screen. That was just a salt chunk.
Okay.
Some of the otters store the pieces, little bits of pieces of the fish in their pockets. And they go back through the cave, taking you back along the path that you just traversed. Some of them are making audible noises. And now, back in the stalactite room, they head down the other path. This too feels familiar. They wander down this pathway and come to a crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
One that you've definitely been to before. Smells of sulfur and rot.
Uh-huh.
And they continue straight on ahead. Going by that most foul smell. Continuing down the passage. They twist and turn their way through many, many hundreds of yards of winding corridor. So they arrive at just outside what you know to be a large clam's room. And they go past the entrance that you had gone through. The path bends around towards the south. And they go out southward. And after not too very long, you start to hear the sounds of waves lapping and crashing against the shoreline. And then you see the bright light of sun. And the smell of crab. And then the very strong smell of crab. And it keeps getting stronger and stronger. And as you get closer and closer to the light, you start to see very large crabs.
Like dire crab?
Not quite dire crab. These are more like 4 feet in width, as opposed to 30.
Well,
Do they look aggressive or just sort of hanging out?
It doesn't seem like they're necessarily aggressive towards you, but you do see some aggression from some of these crabs. They are grabbing out, sort of snipping at each other from time to time.
you who are the most friendly and helpful otters, are you friends with these crabs?
Shake their head no.
Didn't you turn into crab now?
Not if it has a swim speed.
Do that.
Yes, the crabs have swim speeds.
But now that you've seen a smaller, not giant crab.
Yeah,
So-
could I turn into what's the challenge rating on a 4-foot crab?
Probably like a CR, guessing like 0.5 maybe.
All right. I'll add it to
So,
my list.
you who are
Mid-size.
otters and not friends of these crabs, is this the way out of here?
They nod yes.
So, on the other side of these crabs, there is an exit.
Well, you can see the ocean now. And the sky above you. And similar to the pirate lagoon, there are walls all around. And you can see there's like a very low arch. The water has cut through and eroded away this sort of odd inner beach. I think everyone here has seen a hotel with like an indoor-outdoor pool. And whenever they have those, there's always the divider that goes right to the water level, underwater briefly, to get from one side to the other, right? This is sort of that same effect. There's small holes that have broken through these craggy walls that let you see out to the larger ocean beyond. And there's some low archways where you can see with the waves cresting and falling. Sometimes they dip just below, and you can see to the outside. And you know that there's a passageway through there as a consequence.
So,
Where, you don't know.
you who have been Bob,
Yes.
are you familiar with this place?
Never been here before in my life. It looks to be some sort of crab breeding ground.
Ew.
There's many eggs all over. Some look to have been fertilized, others to have been very fertilized.
How can you tell? Why can you
taste them?
tell?
It's not hard. I mean, they're crabs.
I'm sorry, our
This isn't
crab
the
eggs
first
a
time
delicacy.
I've stopped.
I grew up in the swamp.
Our fish eggs delicacy.
No. They're little swamp fish? No.
Oh, okay. Then we won't steal crab egg.
Alright. Unless we want to raise crabs. and just become crab farmers.
That's a good way
Take
to
the
derail this.
campaign in a very different direction. Crab farming with Dice and Dungeons. We'll call it
That's it. That's all we're going to do now.
crab and
We're just going to stay here now
crunches.
and be friends with the crabs.
Maybe we should like throw a rock in the. We have to go in the water to escape, right?
That seems to
From
be
here.
the only way out.
More swimming.
Through crab-infested water, and I'm assuming a lot of crab reproductive stuff.
Yes, I think I prefer the algae.
Well, can we see?
Do you want to ask the otters if there's any alternative ways? We could also test the waters, if you will, and like throw a rock in and see if it. Because I don't want to take all my armor off and climb into a pool full of 4-foot big crabs that are gonna attack me for getting in their breeding ground.
Just turn into a crab.
I can't turn into a crab until I level up somehow.
So you who are
Never
otters,
happened.
you who are otters, is this the only other way out?
They start chittering at each other. There seems to be some fervent conversation about this. Make a persuasion check.
Me?
Yeah,
Guidance.
since you're the only one who can talk to the others right now.
Talk to the animals. 6.
Okay. Okay. The otters. They say. There's this like very loud clicking and chattering and squeaking and barking at each other. And eventually, they all run off back inside. Quicker than you can follow. Save for one.
No.
Oh, all of them except that one got exhausted of our stupidness.
That is a very tolerant otter.
We should name it.
You, who are the remaining otter, do you have a name?
Nods yes.
What is your name?
It sort of cocks its head sideways. And it just sort of goes at you.
Do you have any fish left?
Bombed.
I've been throwing all my fish at these otters. Do I have any fish left?
What else do you have?
Fish.
Do you have any
Okay.
crab left?
I have wine. I gave all of my crab to the rat and to our kunku friend.
You who are
I give it some
It
fish.
just drops its head like, ugh. The body language is fairly clear here that is not its name, but it does not know how to convey its name to you.
Now if I burn a spell slot.
you who are an otter most disappointed in us, but yet willing to remain.
I don't think.
Is there yet another way out of here other than this exit and the one that you had shown us before?
It nods yes.
Are you willing to show us this other exit?
It nods again, yes.
That would be most appreciated.
Ask if it's safe.
I do not think that matters.
Is it not full of crab juice?
Is this other exit safer than the crab exit?
It shakes its head no, but also then kind of like nods yes. You get the idea that the otter is trying to say kind of.
It's probably, I mean, this exit's probably not that dangerous for an otter. Lead the way. Aaron, Amanda, Alice,
Otter Carter.
Artie, Archibald.
It just covers its mouth. Like,
You who are the most tolerant. and-
Artax.
I've never seen an otter facepalm until this moment.
Atreyu.
We hadn't seen otters before at all.
God, Court. It turns around and runs back up into the cave systems.
Follow.
Yeah, we gotta
We
follow
will
it.
follow this otter.
Okay. It leads you.
I never knew otters could just run out of patience.
Why not?
It leads you back past the giant clam room. And as you pass in the second entrance of the giant clam room, it stops and says, well, it says, and it mimes one way that's kind of northwest. It's the otter walks a couple steps and then does a pratfall and falls on its back.
The slippery room.
And then it points another way, and its eyes get very large, and it kind of sways back and forth a little bit, and then points at each of you and just goes, ah, and then shrugs. It knows, it's clear that this is, the otter is aware this is the best that it can do to communicate to you. The idea is that it lacks the vocalization abilities to create. It understands what's that way, but doesn't know how better to describe it to you.
I think we just go down there. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, though. Yeah.
Sure.
We go back and get eaten by crabs?
Or fall over a lot.
While getting eaten by crabs?
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go the weird.
So you
I
don't want to
ran.
go through the room that you couldn't stand up in.
Yeah.
That was hell. Whatever is in this room has to be better than that.
Death is better than that.
Okay.
You who are guiding us, Otter, we will go to the non-slipping room.
The giant eye shouty room.
It gives you this sort of like, got it kind of thing. Like, yep, got it. And
He thinks we're gonna die.
it takes a right and goes into the giant clam room. It jumps up and waves at the giant clam.
We say hello, thank you.
The giant clam slowly opens and then closes.
Is the hat still on it?
Yes.
Yes. That's the important
It
part.
goes around the far side, behind the giant clam. And there's a passageway here that you couldn't see before when you were in that room.
We should have looked there first.
And this passageway continues north for maybe 60, 70 feet. And then it branches off. And it's got two choices to make. One goes north by northeast. Or sorry, north by northwest. And the otter kind of points that way and gestures like out. And then it says, it mimes this sort of, it does that same motion back and forth. Big eyes shifting points at you. Same thing. And then it points down a tunnel that goes to the east. And then it shrugs, looking for your input.
Big eye wavy room or shrug room?
Do both of these go out?
It shakes its head no.
Does one of these go out?
It nods yes.
Can you take us through the one that goes out?
It nods more slowly yes.
I wonder what that means.
And then sort of like gives a little shrug and gestures down the tunnel where it was like kind of wiggling, waving. And shrugs again. Seems to be like, are you sure?
Yeah, let's go.
Do you want me to turn into an animal and scout the way?
Oh, everyone's surprised. Let's go.
You who are Bob, do you wish to continue following the otter?
It's been an adorable little companion this whole time.
You should put it on your shoulder.
Adele.
What?
Adele? Adelaide?
It just keeps shaking it.
Abigail.
Amelia? Abigail, yeah, maybe.
It seems, it tells us that that passageway towards the northwest, that is out. But it also seems to be indicating that there's something of interest down the other tunnel. I don't know what. I'm sort of partial myself to just getting out of here.
Wait, there's loot.
You have a loot.
The money kind of loot.
I paid a lot of money for that loot.
We will go north by northwest.
Or we can go to
Or
the
we
other
could,
room.
which was an excellent movie.
But the other room might have a rear window.
Let's follow the otter north by northwest.
You don't want to check out this other room?
All right.
It could have the birds in it.
There could be birds in it.
It could be.
Well, I'm getting vertigo, so let's go. What?
For all you know, it could be a murder of crows in there.
We're not going to find out. We're going to go through the
The wavy room.
You're
room.
gonna go towards the way that you know. You instruct the otter to take you out.
Yes,
Okay.
we are going north by northwest.
The otter.
If we see a tanker truck, we'll stay away from it.
The otter continues down this path. Long ways. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hundreds and hundreds of yards. You start to lose a sense of how far you've been going because there's so few landmarks. Passage continues on for quite some ways, twisting and turning, backing over on itself. And then after a while, you smell something really off. It smells like all sorts of rotting foods. And you see black mold growing on the sides of the walls. And you come to a junction in the passage. There's a corridor that continues north. The otter gestures that way as it holds its nose. Down a short tunnel, you see a door. Wooden. And there's light coming from underneath it. You don't hear any obvious noises, like someone talking or maybe a crowd or anything. It seems fairly quiet. And the otter gestures to you that way, looking a bit nervous.
You said it was a junction? Was there another path?
Yes, that continues on. So the otter's sort of standing in your way. But the passage continues on westward beyond the otter. And the otter is gesturing towards presumably the way out. That's a passage that goes northward.
I will go and listen to the door.
The closer you get, the stronger this stench of rotting food and mold and mildew is. You hear very little on the other side of the door.
I'll test the door if it's locked.
You can tell that the handle is locked in the technical sense, but the door could simply be pushed open.
Ah. Well, you want
So
to go out?
you who have been the helpful otter, this is the way out.
Nods yes.
Well, we are most thankful for your service. Do you wish to remain with us when we go through this door, or do you need to return?
Sort of shrugs. And it looks at the three of you and the captain and kind of clambers up Ulseth's back. It's a very large, it's like 4 feet. This is a sea otter. There's like a sea otter that's sort of sitting over your shoulder and kind of down your back, gripped onto your armor. It's sort of like a lopsided and heavy backpack for you.
Arthur?
It
Okay.
weighs about 85, 90 pounds. And it seems to want to stick with you for at least a little bit.
So, Bob, would you like to open this door?
Oh. Nothing would please me more. I shall go through. The door, Bob pushes open, and you see a storeroom in front of you. Shelves lined with buckets, crates. There's some large blocks of ice sitting on sawdust around. It's cold in here. But the walls are nonetheless covered with black mold. And this is quite clearly some sort of food storage room. It's large. The football field and length across, and the same sort of width of a football field wide. On the other side of the room, you can see a door. It also has a brighter light coming from underneath it. And it's plain to hear a din on the other side of it.
Can I look inside like these buckets and crates and stuff, see if this is...
It's all food items. It's crackers. Specifically like oyster crackers.
made out of oysters?
No.
Oh.
But it's the oyster crackers, the little hexagonal ones.
Mm-hmm.
There's flour. Some of it is not good. There's plenty of crab here. Some lemons and oranges, limes. There's like a case of wine. Like a wine rack. And it has doors on it. Like barred doors. That ostensibly should be some sort of security, although they're just wide open.
Should I add more wine to my collection?
Well, find out if it's better than what you have.
I'll take a look at one of the bottles, using my vast knowledge of wine to tell if it's better.
Make an investigation check.
Guidance.
Why don't you just have the captain look at it?
Because I rolled investigation an 11.
You look around and you're wondering to yourself, do I know wine? I thought I understood this world. It seemed fairly simple, but now I'm not so sure. The whole thing is somewhat intimidating and confuses the hell out of you. And then you receive a moment of clarity. Find a bottle you recognize. One that brings you just a bit of comfort and confidence that I am an expert. Should I open this up, I would knowingly swish it about in my mouth, breathe in and out several times, and then spit it into a bucket.
You who are a Bob.
Bottle of Chateau d'Etanol.
Hey, Bob.
Yes.
Cannot wait till we visit.
I would like to test your knowledge of fine wines.
Very well.
I'm aware. I'm personally very versed in wine.
Oh, of course.
But what do you think is the most expensive bottle on this shelf?
The most expensive
Is it
one on this shelf.
one of the light-colored ones or one of the dark-colored ones?
I think in technical terms, the most expensive bottle on this shelf would be
The large one there?
the largest one. They are all less than a single silver in value. Most are in 1 or 2 copper range.
Wow.
1 or 2 copper.
Well, I have a bag of holding for a reason.
No.
Ah, Chateau d'Etanol. You can make bombs out of that, you know?
Yeah, I kind of figured that one out.
So are the lemons and limes and oranges still fresh?
How much black mold is in this place?
Enough where it should be shut down if there was a health department.
There's enough alcohol in this to
Okay.
purify the air around us.
I go up to the door.
No.
So I go up to the door that has the light shining under it. Is it open? Unlocked?
The door is technically locked, but is easily openable.
I'll just restock some crab while I'm here.
Okay. It's not fresh.
Oh, I won't restock some crab.
All right.
I open the door.
It leads to a stairway. Goes up,
Huh?
and there's quite a bit of noise.
No, okay.
What kind of noise am I hearing?
It sounds like a large, many people up there, all talking over each other, shouting.
Oh God.
It doesn't sound like it's arguing. It's just very loud.
Does this
That's
loudness
not
sound familiar?
Does what?
Does this kind of loudness sound familiar?
I mean, it sounds like you've been in a restaurant before, and it sounds like it's a restaurant.
Does it sound like the tangy crab? Is really what I'm getting at here.
As you say that. Krabby, Krabby birthday from all of us to you.
Turn around, let's leave.
We should have gone down the other path.
I would rather fight the actual crab.
Here's a question.
Someone starts coming down the stairs.
Bear kids.
God, this is their storeroom for their
That
kitchen.
explains so much.
And
Let's go out the door
it's a
first.
young, sort of zit-faced teenage kid.
No.
Yeah. Hey! Are you the new guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh! Oh, there's a party after work! You should come by, it's at Zach's house! And he grabs a bucket and just walks back up.
You should have said that we were collecting money for the food for it.
I was gonna say we were the health inspector.
Okay, here's a question. Whether or not we try and get through the tangy crab or go back,
We can burn the place down.
regardless of which one we take, what is our actual plan when we get out of this cave? Because as far as we're aware, this whole town is still trying to catch us.
You who are Bob.
Yes.
Is your ship here yet?
Presumably, the day has passed. It's been enough time. I'm guessing that it's anchored just off of shore.
Where will it be and how far in relation to the tangy crab?
Well, the tangy crab isn't all that far away from the docks. At least the industrial docks. My ship should be waiting, probably 200 yards off of the end of the industrial docks.
Since it's so easy to act like employee, let's see if we can turn into Crab Thing, and then we can just sneak into the place.
Like, you want me to try and turn into that horrible crab monster?
No, they have spells, and just have it cast on all of us.
Oh.
I don't know how to dispel it, though.
I would. Your ship isn't going to be well provisioned, right?
Unfortunately, no.
All right. Well, does anyone care about the financial well-being of the tangy crab?
You think you want to eat what they are storing here?
Well, there's at least crackers and stuff. Like, I can go through. I have like 500 pounds of space in my bag of holding.
Yes. Let us take those things which are edible.
I would like to use my knowledge of cooking to try and find 500 pounds of the best, longest lasting food here that's the most actually edible. Probably not the crab.
The best, longest lasting food that's actually edible. Probably the flour?
Okay.
The crackers,
The crackers? Yeah. Probably the crackers.
the citrus.
Most of the citrus is in okay shape, yeah.
Is there a bucket that just says multi-use seafood?
No. But there's a bucket that smells like seafood and just has question mark on it.
Are there crates with asterisks?
No, but there's crates that just they'll say like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just days of the week.
I would
I'm
like.
not quite sure what it means.
I'd like to just try and get 500 pounds of the freshest, best food
Okay.
in here into my bag of holding, so we can at least supply the ship a little bit while we're on it.
You go through the food that is available for you, and you're able to gather 250 pounds of food that's
Passable.
passable. Not quite 500 pounds of really good food.
That's at least something.
Are we burning this place down too to save the town?
So Captain Bob,
Yes. Kind of like choking back. Yes.
do you think it would be possible for us in the darkest part of the night to get from here to your ship?
Probably yes. Why? Yeah. Sorry.
Well-
This place is just absolutely revolting. Of course, we can get into the ship at night. Can we just get out of here? Oh, this smells disgusting.
Well, if we are seen by the people in the town, they may wish to do us harm.
Well, the odds of that happening twice.
Oh, better that than whatever this is.
Well, I could give us a stealth spell to try and sneak through town.
And I can disguise myself.
I can also disguise myself. Nines cannot. But, I mean, it's not like he's super standout.
I could put my disguise kit on.
Oh yeah, you have a bunch of hats and stuff. Why don't you change your hat?
That'll do it. You have some glasses. you
Like
can
a
put
fake
on.
mustache, maybe?
Trying to think what hat to put on. What's the most important hat? I can put
Okay, we need to get out of here.
on? Is there a tangy crab hat?
Oh, I bet there's a uniform around here.
Oh, there's definitely a uniform. Yeah. Yeah, there's a uniform.
Oh, can we all put on tangy crab uniforms?
Yes.
I choose not to, but I'll make my armor look like tangy crab uniform.
Oh,
But
yes.
put the tangy crab outfit on.
You absolutely can.
So it says I can make my armor assume the appearance of a normal set of clothing or some other kind of armor. Can I make my clothes look like that crab armor we saw, but try and have like a crab visor so I look like one of the mascots?
The mascot is
A crab.
a crab. I mean, you can make your armor look that way. It won't look like the mascot.
I'll just make it look like a uniform.
Okay.
And I'll make myself look like a pimply faced human teenager.
Okay.
I look like Nines with a crab hat on.
All right.
I look like a.
Do you like color in a mustache or something like that?
Yes.
You just take a wax pencil and
just
just draw that in.
I put on a tangy crab uniform.
It's like super tiny crop top on you because.
Is there
you're
anything
huge.
large?
Oh yes.
Oh, well, I'll get one of the bigger ones and something
It's
that
way
fits.
too big for you.
That's
It's
fine.
like an ogre size.
There are 3 sizes. There is far too small for almost everything to wear. Medium, which is the correct size for 5 people. And then exceedingly large, which is far too large for almost everyone.
Okay, well,
Those are the 3 sizes.
I'll put on the exceedingly large one, roll up the cuffs of the pants and the cuffs of the shirt.
Your shirt's dragging on the floor.
That's
This
I'm from the
doesn't
tangy
look
crab. This isn't going to
similar
be.
from the zit-faced teenager that you saw.
Yeah, this people will think this is just normal
No,
for the
yeah.
tangy crab, and I don't know. Have I used my disguise since the last short rest? I can't remember.
I don't believe you have
I don't think so.
because you
Well-
didn't use it in combat. And
I'm
then
going
you had-
to disguise myself as something other than the way I look, and I don't really care.
Are we not going to Zach's party?
No,
I heard his parents are out of town.
and we brought wine.
And crab juice.
You make your way up the stairs. It leads out behind the bar. The bartender, who, if you've seen someone that looks angry and just bitter,
Yeah, I've seen a
You now have
fast
to-
food manager before.
you have to now reassess what angry and bitter means to you. As this bartender looks at you and just throws a tray at who's the first one up? Who's going first?
It'd be funnier if I
Actually,
did.
Nines, you're in front. Throws a big circular tray at you, and then kind of like grabs your arm, grabs the tray, like puts it on there like you're holding it, like you're gonna take it out, and just loads up a bunch of drinks. And he goes, "Table 8," and then gets back to making a bunch more drinks.
Which one's 8? I'm 9.
You can count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, good counting.
And he like points at tables.
in a random order.
None of it makes sense to you.
How many drinks were put on this?
10.
Oh, I'll just walk out with it.
Just walk out with it.
And now you're holding a whole tray of drinks, wandering through.
Oh, Seth, can you
Excuse me, I have drinks.
can you do a better job hiding your 4-foot otter?
People. The otter has just gone down to the floor and is kind of like walking in between you all.
I think we should just leave. Tell people that we are serving people on the terrace, outdoor dining.
No, we'll just walk out.
We're just gonna walk.
I mean, if anyone asks. No one will ask.
You make your way through the restaurant. Nines, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, lovely.
I think that's a 7. Yes, that is a 7.
A very drunk and very large, red-faced human male gets up from his chair and knocks right into you spilling about half the drinks that you're carrying.
Excuse me, sir.
Well, that's okay, and slaps you on the back and then just wanders towards presumably the restroom. You now have 5 drinks and a bunch of very mildly alcoholic liquid.
They happen to leave his wallet there.
Make an investigation check.
Guidance.
What's the petty theft opportunity?
14.
Yeah, you're just gonna pick up some tips on your way out.
I like that you rolled the check. She goes guidance, and I'm watching you just add the D4.
I hadn't stopped rolling.
And this isn't so critical. I'm just gonna let this one roll. You know, we're just gonna roll with it. It's fine. What's the result?
14.
14. Sure. Yeah. He left his coin pouch there.
Olsef, grab that. We'll take it up to counter.
I do not believe I should.
Take it up to the counter.
What?
Sorry, I take the purse
Okay. Why?
because I do not wish to do
All
that.
right.
It's against your code.
It's my code to steal. Soria, can you steal it for me?
Could have asked Bob.
I
I'm
grab
thinking
it.
he's-
Bob, take it. No, Bob would keep it.
You grab it.
Yeah.
Okay. You have this gentleman's purse. Coin purse. All right.
Gentleman's coin purse. That sounds...
I mean, no one really has a wallet in this. There's not like
we should make
a whole bunch of
wallets.
credit cards.
I bet they would
and-
sell well.
So you continue wandering through the tangy crab. You make your way to the door. The hostess looks at you, Nines. Where the hell are you taking those?
Parents!
The Terrans.
He ordered to-go order.
Whatever. Just can one of you go seat these people at table 17?
Yes, Olsef, go take care of that.
I see them.
I said seat, not see.
Oh, I thought you said see them.
Go get. You go take the drinks out. You, pointing at Ulseth, take these people to table 17 and you, I don't know, do something.
I
Okay.
take 3 steps with this group of people. Point at the empty table that is over there somewhere, and say,
There's not an empty table.
"You who are new people, coming to eat here at the Tangy Crab. Yes. See these numbers on the tables?
Yeah, our friends told us this place was great.
Yeah. Go to the one that says 17. If there are still people there, tell them it is time for them to leave. And you take that table.
There are definitely no numbers on these tables.
I will see you later."
Well, this is fun, don't you think,
And I
Jared?
walk out.
And this group of people is left standing, like wondering what is going on, as the 4 of you and Otter exit the building.
They have you at
A tray of
they
drinks.
have you at the chef's table. Just walk into the kitchen and then I'll leave.
Oh, did you hear that, Jer? This is gonna be fun.
Have a tangy day.
Need to throw a Molotov at this place.
I have one.
As you say that, the hostess goes, "Oh, fuck! Did they bring that back?"
It's our first day.
It is the second thing they taught us.
No, I hate it now. Thought they killed it last week. A group of people leave behind you all. Have a tangy day. Every time I say that, my soul dies a little more.
You should become an adventurer and quit this job and join one of the mercenary guilds.
You can do that?
Yes.
Yeah, they
Alright.
take anyone.
She takes off her apron, drops on the floor, walks out.
Why do you guys didn't even have to
Join
roll
the
a
company of
persuasion check?
blades.
I'll join whichever one will take me. I just don't want to go back to that.
All right.
Okay.
We did one good thing.
Wow, no one
Let's-
wants to work anymore.
You who are captain, who is Bob.
You know, I think that they would probably have better staff retention if they perhaps paid higher wages and made a better working environment.
And what could be better than the working environment
and a
of the
bouncy ball in the break room.
I noticed that. A lad named Philip was having a grand time. I didn't see him do anything else for a full 5 minutes.
Wait, can we still see the lady who walked out?
Yeah, she's just kind of walking down the street.
Hey, wait, lady! Where's Zach's house?
It's up there! She just kind of points into a part of the city that you don't know very well.
Here, you'll need this. And I give her one of my free spears.
She takes it, happily so. She has a spear now.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a hell of a payoff in like 50 episodes.
When she comes back as like a badass
Spear throwing.
shield maiden,
Yeah.
sort of.
In crab armor.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Rianne!
I'm glad they already know your tragic backstory.
I'm working at
You're
the
working at Tangy Crab.
Glad to know yours too!
also working at the team.
So yes, you who are Captain Bob,
Yes.
can you please lead us to your ship?
I believe so, but it is, well, still the middle of the day. Yeah,
Let's go to Zach's house.
they might be there by now.
At Zach's house?
No, the ship.
Oh, why don't we just hang out at Zach's house for a while?
Yeah, let's go to Zach's house.
Well, I can't seem to think of a better idea.
No one
You-
would think so.
You who are the otter accompanying us,
Looks up at you.
do you wish to go to Zach's house too?
Does a little ottery shrug.
Okay.
Yes, let's go.
Do we just have an otter companion now?
All right.
Well, if
you,
we have Otter companion, he's gonna join us. It'd be rude not to know him. I can't speak with animal.
okay.
What's your name?
Adamore.
Animor.
That was my next one. Dang it.
Boy, you guys aren't necessarily the, well, brightest in the bunch, are you?
Well, that's Olsaf's fault.
He's bad at translating.
Although, I'd be willing to bet that it's kind of hard to communicate when I can understand what one of you says and you can't understand anything that any of us say. So, maybe it's just a lack of clear communication.
No, it's us.
I think this otter has a higher intelligence score than some of us.
Can I see this Otter's character sheet?
No. The otter does not have a character sheet.
Do you want a spear?
Not really. It doesn't do me a whole lot of good. Can't
You can't talk to the
you
otter.
can't talk.
really hold it.
I don't know. I was just saying, do you want a spear? I didn't know I was gonna answer.
What kind of weapon does Otter use?
Points at his teeth. There's some really big fangs. Some very large, pointy teeth.
Yes. So you who are
Beverage?
Adamor, would you like to remain as a would you like to remain as a comrade with us?
Well, the rest of my group didn't really like me, so figured this would be probably better than nothing.
It is likely to be slightly better than nothing.
Yes, let's go get hammered at Zach's house.
That's a throwaway line that I'm instantly regretting. Yep, instant regret. Well,
It's an extra security Inc.
no. We'll head off to Zach's house when we get back from break, and we'll see how Zach's house goes. So rejoin us after our break. We will see you shortly. Welcome back, engineers. We've returned from break and are rejoining our group as they're off to Zach's house.
Yes! Party with Zach!
We're off to Zach's house?
I heard his parents aren't home.
Well, you make your way up the sort of center. Krebstadt rises towards the center, and you make your way up. You realize fairly quickly you have no idea where you're going. Not even a little.
So we don't see any teenagers walking.
Oh, sure, there's teenagers walking.
What?
Hey, fellow teens.
A couple of them look back. What?
Where's Zach at?
Huh?
Where's Zach's house? For the party?
And they just leave.
I hate teenagers.
I get my spear.
That's very non-lethal of you.
What can I say? They're teens.
You want to go back in the caves?
Well, Zeph, how do you think we should find his house?
I have no idea. Perhaps we should have stayed at the Tangy Crab with the person who invited us.
I mean, we can't just chill out here until the end of his shift.
I knock on a door.
A person comes to answer.
Is this Zach's house? Is this where the party's at?
No, go away. Shuts the door.
I knock on another door.
A different person answers. Hello.
Is this Zach's house? Do you know where Zach's house is? Where the party's at? Tangy Crab party? After party?
No, I'm sorry. And closes the door in your face.
I knock
Let
on
me
a-
try.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Go to the next house and knock on the door.
Someone answers.
Excuse me, I'm trying to find Zach's house.
You're so cute. Never seen a big widow kitty before.
I think this is the place. Let's go in.
Is this Zach's house?
It's whatever house you want it to be.
Insight check.
No guidance.
I got a 4.
You don't know whose house this is. You don't think it's Zach's. Not sure. But they're shaking a bag of cat treats at you. Like
Soria, this is the house.
Yeah, all right. You ever seen an otter?
Yeah?
There's one.
Looks down at the otter. Oh, you're so cute! You're so cute! She's talking to the tabaxi.
Do you play to Staxies?
Of course I play taxis! Of course I do! Do you want to tweet? Do you want to tweet?
They're trying to make a more aggravating character than the voice.
Don't know if I'm trying. Think I might be succeeding.
All right, let's go into this house, see what happens.
All right, yeah. What?
I follow at a very respectful
At a
distance.
very respectful distance.
Which means they're hanging.
Alcohol in these beverages I'm carrying.
Yeah, there is.
You're still holding the
Just
tray.
start drinking.
You're still holding the tray.
Yes,
Why
of
did
course
you-
I'm holding the tray.
Why do you not provide our host with one?
Oh, it's a little serving kitty. Oh, it's so cute. Serving alcohol.
We like to party.
It's a useful serving kitty. How practical.
This revenge for trying to get to Zach's party.
I can.
She says, you wait right here. I'm gonna go get you some tweets. She scuttles off into the kitchen.
I look around this place.
I stand by the door in case we need to
pretty kinda
beat a
average
hasty
house?
retreat.
Okay, it's not like covered in like cat stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely
How
that.
many hang in there kitty posters are there?
Oh no, there's none of those. But there's many hundreds of cats.
Other cats.
Yes.
Is my speak with animal still active?
Sure.
Excuse me, cats.
Few of them look at you.
Ask them if they want freedom.
He wants freedom.
They look at you. A particularly large cat waddles over. This is a... Well, many of the viewers at this point have seen Set. Although I don't know if they've seen all of Set. Set is a large cat. And Set jumps very high and also waddles. Not much, just a little bit. This is a cat larger than that. Probably 25 pounds.
This isn't going to be a musical, is
Yeah,
it?
he's not gonna unzip his fat and a bunch of cockroaches come out and start dancing with him, is he?
Where's the Idris Elba cat? I'm looking around for.
No, it's not gonna be that.
I'm looking for McCafferty.
I watched that movie High. It didn't improve it. I probably enjoyed it more, but it didn't make it better. This large cat goes.
What?
You're the one who wants to break us out, huh?
Sure, what's in it for us?
He'll claw you to death.
This is a great deal. I negotiate this great deal.
All right,
Thank you.
open the door.
I opened the door.
Fellas, it's time to get out of here. All of the cats start streaming out the door.
I'll go in the
They
kitchen.
all have little collars, little bells. It's this soft jingle as they leave in a...
Let's just leave.
Yeah.
Cheese it. Let's go.
We escape with the cats, maybe even faster.
Oh, Mr. Kitty, where did you go?
Why are you trying to make me feel bad about this? We don't see this. We don't know what's going on.
You heard it as she was entering the room and you were leaving. And as you're going down the street, you just hear... Mr. Whiskers, why?
This is probably for best. Let's go to Zach's house now.
Animal hoarding is not a good thing, and neither is letting a bunch of animals free
What's
to
it,
just
crap?
wander the city.
Nothing.
So honestly, this is a net zero. We're true neutral in this.
Wait, you're just like, there was a bad thing going on. We did a different bad thing.
But stop the first one.
So, you who are nines,
Yes.
do you have any idea where Zach's house is?
I knock on the door.
Hello?
Is this Zach's house?
No. What? Why?
Looking for the party? You know where the party is?
There's some kids making noise up that way.
Mm-hmm.
Gestures down the street.
As cool teens ourselves, we should go
Toward the noise.
towards
We're
noise.
going towards that noise.
I believe that for Halloween, he actually recreated that with his own daughter.
Yeah, the Hello Fellow Teens
Yeah.
with Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, I think Steve
he did.
Buscemi went for that as Halloween. Which, you know, pretty good. Well done.
Yep.
You somehow managed to find a house with a party.
We'll just walk in.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of teenagers here.
Captain,
Yes.
is this cool?
No.
Are we safe here? Is this a good hiding spot?
Well, I'm sure that no one here is going to care about who we are.
Are there still drinks on your
Safety
tray?
is another
Yes.
question. I think
Well,
There's
pass them-
4 drinks.
Okay, pass them around. Pass them around will be popular.
No. No
We have to
underage.
ration this off.
We can't do underage.
cool. And grabs 2 of the remaining drinks. Nice, brah. And then
What?
wanders back into the room.
I'm just wearing bra.
No.
What?
You said nice bra.
Yeah, it's
They
talking
speak
to
a
me.
weird language here. I do not understand it.
Whoa. Takes the last 2 drinks in the tray. Nice. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Just wanders off. You now have an empty tray.
Hey, Soria.
Yeah?
Free tray.
Nice. We could put a strap on that and you'd have a shield.
Very ineffective shield.
Does it have a big tangy crab logo on it?
It would probably help swim.
Sure. Yeah. The bottom of the tray is got a tangy crab logo, and the top of the tray, it says "Have a tangy day." Yeah.
Where? Tangy crab tray. Add to my inventory.
The door just popped open slightly. I feel like Set was trying to open it and scared himself away.
That seems likely.
So,
Anything cool happened at this party? Like
whole
back
bunch of-
alley to Staxi's? tournament?
Is this a cool party? You know, where people get together and swap stories about their family histories?
It's not that kind of party.
Oh.
Any kids talking about a scary mansion that's like down the street and somewhere?
Absolutely. There's some kids swapping horror stories at some place called the Hawthorne Manor.
That's good cross promotion.
Is time passing?
Sure.
Is time passing quickly?
Did you find Zach
Sure.
yet?
I mean, you can just stand in a corner awkwardly if you want.
All the corners are taken.
I like that almost every time I let you guys know that for the purposes of realistically passing through the actions that we've done, we might not be quite where you're at now to like trigger another event. And every time you go, we're gonna go someplace else, you go there and then you're just like, how do we get through this?
You mean-
Rather than just say,
So you
"All right,
mean
we want to wait down here.
if we have to wait 8 hours for sunset, we don't have to play this for 8 hours?
I
and
think
Yes.
we do. Is anyone playing Risk at this party?
No, but there's some truth or dare going on.
Sorry, let's join in.
All right, yeah.
Who are you guys?
Fellow teens.
Cool ones.
We work at Tangy Crab.
Whatever.
I have a knife.
Cool.
And a spear.
You get them at the mall?
I got stabbed with this spear.
Whoa.
I stole this tray.
Nice.
See, we've already asserted our dominance.
There you go.
Stick it to the man.
And get sticked by a spear.
Anyway, is it my turn yet?
Sure.
Truth.
What's your real name?
Dare.
Okay, you want to dare?
Yeah.
Eat this pepper. She holds out like a...
And drink this bottle of
Small.
Chateau d'Ethanol.
It's their turn. Give me a pepper.
She hands you the pepper.
I'm going to eat half of it. Just like,
Okay. It's to eat all... The dare is to eat all of it.
all of it, then, like, right. I just throw the whole thing in. Stem and all.
Ew. All right. That's
Fiber.
great. So you just toss it right in? Marvelous. Make a Constitution saving throw.
That is going to be... I hate this non-electronic stuff. 11.
All right, 11. You are now crying from the intense heat in your mouth, and you're just desperate to drink anything at all. You're incapable of
No.
really talking for a little while.
Chateau de ethanol.
Make another Constitution saving throw.
5.
5. Is that a
5.
3?
It was a 4.
Four?
I have a +1 to my Constitution saving throw.
Okay. This makes it worse. The alcohol opens up the pores in your tongue, and now the capsaicin is inflicting an even more powerful effect on your tongue. It is hotter, and you want to throw up.
All right.
because Chateau
Where is
d'Ethanol
the?
awful?
I use feline agility to find the kitchen.
You're in it.
I throw open the refrigerator door, or closest equivalent.
The ice box.
There's not really a refrigerator.
They're empty, full of milk containers anywhere.
There's some empty containers all over the place.
Full ones.
Full ones. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, there's full containers. There's like probably some milk jugs somewhere.
I grab the
something.
nearest milk jug,
Yeah.
rip open the cap,
Yep.
and start chugging it down.
All right.
I hope there's milk in there.
Well, let's find out. Hey, that was a nat 20. So yeah, there's milk.
But how? What? But
And
it's
it's like thick, delicious, goat milk. Yeah.
All right. I'm also not trying to conserve it. I'm just like all over my body, just pouring milk down.
All right, you're covered in milk. Your mouth feels a little bit better, but you're still in quite a bit of pain at the moment.
I return to the circle.
Okay.
Sorry, a truth or dare.
truth.
Shit. Also, what should I ask her?
I do not know this game. I am baffled.
Were you not a teen who grew up with fellow teens? Oh, right.
I like the idea that truth or dare is just a universal constant between all teens.
Yep.
I think that's legit. I think that's good.
If you wanted to get more secret out of yourself, what question would you ask?
I don't know. I would tell you anything you wanted to know, Nines. If you just asked.
I give up.
There.
Who do you have a crush on?
I haven't crushed anyone. Wait, no, I crushed some skeletons with my antlers.
You're weird.
I can turn into a big deer.
Want to see it?
Ew, no.
What's your favorite animal?
Crap.
Really?
Sorry, I dare you to turn into a crab.
I need to level up to do that.
Turn into a guy that looks like crab.
Oh, okay. I turn into a Sahagin.
Cool. You like magic? You like magic? Is that what this is?
No.
Wow, how are you doing that?
I am cursed.
Whoa, you're cursed.
Do not know how to party.
My understanding of party is having large clan meets where we share ancestral stories about our tribes. So,
Well, why don't you tell one?
do you really want to know one?
Olsef, how long do we have until we have to leave?
No.
I have some if you want.
What's your shortest one?
Oh, I'd have to look.
Look through your brain bank.
Uh-huh.
Say that you guys can leave whenever you want to leave.
No, we're on Truth right now. Or Dare, I can't remember.
So, the paragon of the Sulani clan, my clan, was known as Urami the Brave. Yes. When we fled from the calamity, they were our leader. And they were known to be a master of shape-shifting. And could take the shape of anything they wanted, even a crab. Yeah. And it said that Urami had many adventures. They tamed the frozen waste, battled great monsters, outwitted giants, and rallied armies. And they are the one that we look to as the leader and soul of the Sulani clan. That one's one of the shorter ones.
How long do they get?
Was that a dare or a truth?
I don't remember.
I mean, they get longer if you want. If you want to, like, waste time with backstory and world building.
Can we? Is it possible for us to just say that hours pass until it is dark?
Oh, definitely.
I need to know what my character's doing with all these fellow teens that whole time. What kind of cheap alcohol do they buy?
What kind of cheap alcohol do they buy?
I'm sure they didn't get anything other than cheap stuff.
Oh yeah, it's very cheap.
Cheap.
Like fermented crab juice. It's a lot of fermented crab juice. It's widely
It's
available.
that and Milwaukee's best.
I do believe
And,
that the copper wine that you have in your magic bag is better.
Yeah, I'm keeping it.
and there's some CBR in there.
Crab blue ribbon.
And blue ribbon, yeah.
All right,
Did we
will.
meet our host yet? Did we
No.
meet Zach?
No.
Where's Zach?
Oh, he's not here yet.
Oh, what does his parents do?
Mm.
Is it a nice house at least?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, Zach's parents don't even live here. This is, I think it's Zach's place. Might be somebody else's. I don't know, the door was open, we came in.
Captain.
Yes.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
Where are you from originally?
The Abandoned Isles, of course.
Oh, okay.
You all know that.
You just said your crew was from the Band of Ends.
You knew that I was from there as well.
Since you are telling the truth,
It only works one time, Olsef.
You get
Yeah.
one question. So let me ask you, Seth, truth or dare?
truth. Ha! There is
What?
nothing that you wish to know.
Oh, there are many things I wish to know. I'm just trying to determine which one I wish to know most. What was your favorite thing to do as a child?
My favorite thing to do was to explore the caves around my village.
Interesting. Bit of a spelunker.
Yes, unfortunately, the caves were relatively small, and they gave me not enough skill to get through the things that we've been through lately.
Well, I'm sure that your knowledge in spelunking has helped us nonetheless. It's always nice to get to know one's traveling companions a bit more. How long do you guys want to stay at the party?
Until it is
Until
dark.
sundown.
Okay.
Is
we
it
can-
dark yet?
Sure. It can be dark.
Can it please be dark?
Yes.
Well, Seth doesn't like socializing.
And it's your turn, too.
Oh, I am not sure about this game, but I will. Do we just go in a circle? Do I ask a random person?
I think you can ask anybody you wish.
So, you who are Bob,
Yes.
I am wondering this. Do you wish to be called Captain Phil, or Captain Ted, or Captain Will, or Captain Ox?
That's not how the game works, Olsef.
Yeah, you have to say truth or dare.
Oh yeah, truth or dare.
Well, I believe I should take truth.
Well, then I will ask that. Should I repeat it?
It's not so much revealing question, is it? It's more of a preference.
Yes. Which of those four do you prefer to be called?
There's not much truth in there. I guess just keep calling me Captain Bob. It's fine.
Oh, but that was not one of the choices.
I realize it, but it's not the truth to choose one of those.
But that is the name that he had written on the wall.
Olsef,
Yeah.
you suck at this game.
That is not a surprise. I did not know this game. I do not find it very much fun.
All right. Anything else you guys want to?
You want to knock on some more doors?
No, I'm good.
Hey, what kind of music do you kids listen to these days?
The voice.
Crab rock, crab jazz.
Mostly the voice and like.
Well, he sucks. Why would you want to listen to that?
It's there.
You should have thrown out voice albums. They suck.
I mean, like to see you do better.
Do better.
Pull out your loot.
Yes, I pull out my lute. Try to think of something to play that will truly impress teenagers.
Free bird.
God, I wish. I'm not that talented.
They're pretty impressed.
Clearly, I never heard a lute before.
You're definitely that long-haired guy who sits on campus and just plays guitar all day.
Yeah.
I don't know enough Oasis songs to do that.
All you're missing is like a large elm tree
Yeah.
and a blanket.
Yeah.
What kind of blanket?
Plan.
No.
Hemp.
Hemp.
With holes in it.
That's a poncho.
Okay.
It can be both. You have a poncho that you take off
And sit
and
on.
use as a blanket to sit on. It's
Captain?
made out of hemp.
Now that night has fallen,
Yes, that happened rather quickly.
how do we get to the ship?
Well, I think all we need to do is take a dinghy and sail out just on ducks.
Old stuff. He said dingy.
He did say dingy.
Funny word.
Is it?
Yes. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes. Indeed.
Haha. Think. What am I laughing at?
Dingy.
Aha!
Was that the otter?
No,
The
it's
otter
Otter.
was laughing, yeah.
Yeah.
Did the Otter get into their cheap alcohol too?
No. The Otter's not that into cheap alcohol.
And partying with teenagers.
No, it's definitely not into partying with teenagers.
The Otter was giving people tattoos in the back.
Little Otter.
Yeah.
I like to imagine he's doing it old school and has like the
Yeah.
hammer.
The hammer.
Oh, yeah, like real old style tattoos.
An otter would be good at that because they break crabs open and things.
Well, they would only be good at that if they laid, like, if it was an arm, laid the arm across their bellies
Yeah, that's how they do it.
and did it like
Yeah.
this, like.
I kind of want to see that now.
You want an otter
Yeah,
tattoo?
now I kind of want to see like an otter that knows how to tattoo. I'd like to see that.
So, are we sneaking?
It might be best if we sneak, although some of the fervor seems to have died down. they might actually think us dead.
That would be nice.
Well,
That'd be great.
I would like to be done right now.
And we are disguised as tangy crab servers.
Oh, no, yours only lasts for like an hour.
Yeah, but I still have to close.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
they did.
If anyone is suspicious, we'll just be like, would you like tangy crab menu?
Yeah,
They'll avoid us.
yeah. We just did a delivery.
Yes, we just got a bunch of teenagers drunk.
Not really.
Do we
Not
still
nearly enough alcohol
do we
with
still
it.
smell like algae?
Oh yeah, that is a stink that's not gonna go away with that.
Okay, we'll
That's
see.
why do you think her costumes are so convincing?
Yeah, there we go.
You saw the storeroom of the tangy crab. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
Well, we
let's-
smell better than that.
Let's sneak down.
No, you still went through that room. That was enough. The stink is on you.
Let's sneak
We
down.
can take shower on boat. I'm sure boat has shower.
Yeah.
Of course.
Let's sneak down to the dock.
Okay.
To the dinghy.
And let's find a dinghy. Maybe there's like a dinghy that has like food on it that we can bring for the ship. Preloaded.
I love how we have no concept of property unless it's our own.
We're with a pirate.
Yeah, you have no concept of property until it's yours. Then you have a very firm grasp on property.
So we look for a dinghy at the dock.
All right.
A dock dinghy.
There's many around.
Captain, you know dinghies.
Yes. I'm guessing you'd like me to just pick one out at random.
No, we would like you to lean on your decades of experience and knowledge to choose.
Oh, is that what you'd like to do?
Yeah.
Yes, that is our dare.
I was just going to grab a random rock and throw it and see what it hit.
Is
Then take that one.
Is that what your knowledge and experience tells you is good?
Knowledge and experience tells me that I'm lucky. And he winds up and throws a rock out.
Does it shatter a window in one?
No.
Does it sink a dinghy?
He sees it hit a ship. Take that one.
What's the ship's name?
It's a dinghy. Doesn't
Oh, they didn't name it? Okay.
even name it.
We should name it.
Dinghy.
The dinghy. Dinghy the dinghy.
Didn't he make dingy face?
You'd make
Dingy
dinghy.
McDingface.
That's it.
Let's board the ship. The unfortunately named
You're a
ship.
dingy McDingface.
To adventure.
You leave dock.
Does the otter come with us?
Sure.
Oh, good.
Your otter.
Otter seems to be hanging out. Interested so far. You sail out into the waters, and there's a ship waiting out, just like the captain said, a couple 100 yards off of the end of the docks.
Oh, that's yards.
You who
Thanks,
are
Soria.
you who are our captain who wishes to continue to be called Bob.
Yes.
Is this your ship, the Zephyr?
Well, it's quite dark, but looks to be her, yes.
Well, that is good. Can you get us aboard, please?
I think so. Well,
You're not sure?
well, one can never be sure after you've left your ship for a while. Sometimes there's a mutiny. Dealt with that once or twice. It's always an adventure being in my line of work. Is there anything else that you wish to do here in Krebstadt before we set sail?
I'd like to keep going. I think
You don't want to stop and burn down the tangy crab?
I feel like they're gonna do that on their own. Did you see how they were running that place?
Well, now that, because there's people who were hanging out in the kitchen uninvited, as far as the staff is concerned, and their host has just left, is the tangy crab still doing okay on the hill?
I mean, the tangy crab, without going and investigating, it's present. The tangy crab is there. You're not sure how well it's doing.
Just want to know if it's on fire.
It doesn't seem to be on fire. I think the Tangy Crab is one of those institutions that will persist in spite of everything that says it shouldn't.
Is the Voices ship still here?
Yes. The Voices ship is still here.
Well, if you want, Captain, since things seem to have quieted down, now that we're on ship, we could hide on the ship and you could get food onto the ship, right?
I think I might be able to pull that off.
As long as we stay below decks, that should be okay, right?
If we set sail outward, change our sails, flag, get over the horizon, and then sail back, we might be able to convince a couple people.
Because I got, like, some food for us, but it's all tangy crab food.
I don't think I would eat that if you paid me to.
I will pay you.
2 gold.
1 cracker.
It would take far more than that.
I pull out one of the crackers.
No.
Also, if you want in,
On what?
maybe the captain eats a tangy crab cracker.
Why doesn't he want to eat the crab cracker?
I let you smell it.
Oh,
I didn't really need to describe that one. The description came through quite clear, just by its mere provenance.
why are we doing this?
I don't know. Just it sounded funny.
Oh,
If you
okay.
want to,
I think you were trying to convince the captain that we needed to
I
provision.
think getting provisions is a good idea since we're sailing for how long?
several weeks.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, probably.
That would be good. Otherwise, we would be forced to just catch fish, and that would
And have tangy crab leftovers.
yes.
We'll have to sail farther south beyond our target. It'll be more convincing when we come up from the southern. Since the borders are closed with Glindring, they won't be too kind to let us into the former republic.
I see. So we're going all the way down to the southern end of the Republic.
We're gonna sail out into open waters for quite some time. Get far south beyond our docks. And then turn around and return. It will look like we are coming from the south. It will raise less suspicion. And they'll start flying the flag of one of the southern provinces.
And this is the time when we have to make our identities, correct?
Yes.
So do you guys need like a hat or like a mustache or a scar or something?
It might be worth taking some time while I provision to prepare your identities. Get an idea, since whatever you had in mind before, well, I think that might be a bit blown now. Your disguises may have to be a tad more convincing.
More convincing than tangy crab outfits?
More convincing than Tangy Crab, to be sure, but more convincing than what you were doing previously. And your dwarf is quite surely going to need a change.
Yep.
The voice is aware of who you are.
Although I was looking like the 5 o'clock shadow dwarf actor guy.
Yeah, that's true.
But I am willing to change.
But you do have a bit of
hope
a
so.
blown cover from all of the attention that you've raised.
Well then, the plan is for us to hide aboard the ship. You will sail out and then sail back, acquire provisions, and we will be on the boat for several weeks again.
Yeah. But for now, we should figure out our secret identities.
You want to do that now? We have 2 weeks.
Yeah, but we also, I mean, we have to wait, like, what? How long is this going to take to reprovision? A day or two?
Shouldn't take us much more than the morning.
And they need to make a bunch of fake documents and stuff, right?
In the meantime, we can blow up the voice's ship.
documents, right?
We can
You want to try to do that?
additional falsified documentation, yes.
So let's make some secret identities, some fake people.
So we will be in disguise when we head south.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
I have very little imagination when it comes to disguises, as you have noticed.
Yeah? Yeah, it's true.
So, so perhaps you should go first because you seem to be very adept at disguising yourself.
I'm actually one of the worst ones at it from my clan.
No. You could be an otter. We could have 2 otters.
I can't turn into an otter until I level up. DM.
That just costs us 5 more sessions.
Stop asking for creatures with swim speeds.
Have you tried turning into trout?
Yes, every day.
Albatross.
That's even further away. That's like level 6.
Dire crab.
That CR rating is way too high.
Mammoth.
It's also too high.
Baby mammoth.
Maybe.
Do.
All right.
Okay.
So we're in the Republic, correct? What's a minor noble family in the Republic, Captain?
Well, they don't necessarily have noble families as you might have come to think
Not like in Glendring.
of. No. Any signs of a traditional monarchy or imperial family, ruling clans and things like that, they don't exist. It isn't to say that they're not central power structures, but they're held by business interests rather than lineages. Most of the families are fairly well known and keep relatively small groups. They constantly work to exclude certain elements of their families, consolidate power, keep it small, keep it close. Keeps the flow of money and rulership in order. They don't like to let go of control. Colloquially, they are called, dragon families.
Oh yeah, we heard that before.
Yes, let's turn into dragon.
Okay, I turned into a dragonborn.
Not quite like that.
Oh, I turned into a different dragonborn.
No, the dragon families, well, they aren't actually dragons.
Oh. Well, this is awkward.
Indeed.
Well, you who are Captain Bob, you have had much experience in creating false identities for people, alternative identities. Do you have any suggestions for us, since we have no experience of this of ourselves?
All right. I think Nines.
I already told you I'm Fred, the furball fighter.
How about you are Ivan, the tabaxi trader from the Free States?
Oh, I fighter. I have club. I threaten people.
You're a tabaxi mercenary
Who's fighter?
from
Yes.
the Free States. Yeah?
Yeah.
The Free
I
States.
definitely look like fighter.
The Free States are still open with the Republic, right?
Yes, they are, indeed.
Okay. And the tabaxi are from the Free States, right? Mostly.
For the most part, yes.
Someone's paying attention during geometry lesson.
Yeah, and geography.
Wow, both geo things.
All right, so
I should pay attention to her geometry lesson.
Did you say geometry lessons?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah. All right, so you're Frederick,
No, just Fred.
Fred the fighter,
Fred the furball fighter.
Fred the ferocious.
Furball fighter.
Do you fight furbolgs?
No, I'm a
no.
furball.
Oh, furball,
Furball fighter.
not furbolg.
Yeah.
That is much. That sounds much like me, but
No, that doesn't.
not at all.
You're probably going to need to hide your Remarden armor.
Yes, I have. I have come to that conclusion that I must acquire some alternative armor.
Some crab armor.
Maybe the captain can pick you up some armor while provisioning.
Yes, because he has not provided us room and board for several days now. We probably should have gained enough credit that it would be fine for him to purchase me some armor.
What sort of armor would you like?
Something very simple. I am now wearing leather armor. That would be fine. Perhaps something made of metal.
Or crab.
How about like a breastplate?
Oh, you mean like solid armor?
Yeah. But it still has open arms and legs for movement.
I guess that would be all right, yes.
Could you do that?
And some simple pieces of armor
Yeah.
Yes,
that can be arranged.
that would fit me.
That's only a matter of a couple of gold. I think I can pick some up.
Okay, I will do that. And then I will be, I could be hired as a mercenary for you,
For me?
or whatever you are.
You're both my mercenaries, maybe?
Yeah.
Certainly. Furball
great
fighter and
plan.
furball fighter.
And I will be a ambassador? That sounds fun.
That sounds impressive.
Yeah, ambassadors are impressive, right?
Yes, they're also usually somewhat known.
What if I came from somewhere not very well known?
What do you have in mind?
Maybe like a yuan tea? I can turn into one of those.
I mean, there are some parts of their homelands that don't have too many envoys. I suppose you could be from one of them, but where are you going? Where are you an envoy to, is the question.
Well, we're heading to Ironvale, right? So what is Ironvale famous for? Why would there... Maybe I should be more like a wealthy merchant.
That would probably be easier.
A wealthy merchant is a bit easier to hide. There are always people rising up and making a name for themselves and then they're falling down.
Okay. What if I came... What if I was from some place that there isn't much trade with, but maybe have something cool like Gritmar Yor?
Well, Kudmayor has a fair number of different resources. They have access to a smattering of ironwood.
Soria, you should be wandering salesman for Krebstaxis.
I don't know if I'm good enough.
Doesn't have to be good. We're not actually selling them.
But what if someone wants to buy them?
Then we fill out order form and ship it to them.
I have made Krebstaxis.
Yeah, we need... Can you bring a kiln onto the ship for...
I believe a kiln might be a bit on the large side.
Oh, okay.
We just sell the promise of Krebstaxis.
Oh, so, Captain, what would you suggest? I can turn into a variety of humanoids.
I think any humanoid would be perfectly fine. It's more the reason that you're there. If you have a bodyguard, for example, you must be important. So, what are you important for? Are you a merchant? Could be an envoy, but if you're an envoy from somewhere, they have official channels. Find something that seems important, but can't be easily traced. I like the merchant type. Perhaps someone of religious import.
I can turn into a weird cursed bird woman thing. Remember those weird things that attacked us and I turned into like that hag thing?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't recommend that.
Why not?
he was a bit of a strong reaction.
Oh. What if they like Ferventech, right?
Everyone likes fun.
Maybe I'm a Ferventech dealer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Like
Yes.
Ferventech.
Black market Ferventech dealer.
I do have.
Would that be a good
I am
one?
still carrying a piece. We can show it as a sample.
A black market Ferventech deal.
That would get me into some doors, right?
I believe it would do more than that.
It would let me get into the room past the door.
I think it would really get you an audience with almost anyone you wanted.
Okay.
And I could be not only a bodyguard but also a mechanic.
Yeah, exactly.
You might give me muscle.
Yeah.
I feel it's only fair for me to advise you that the sort of Ferventech that you carry with you would be known to be uncommon. There might be risks that come with it. It's a very good cover. No one could verify your identity for sure. And most people wouldn't question it because, frankly, everyone wants what you have to sell. But there might be people that want it more than, well, you're willing to sell it for. And they're trying to take it by force.
Should I make myself look like someone very intimidating then to dissuade that? Like maybe someone who murders people for Ferventech?
Someone like Kormov.
Well, maybe. Or
You
something.
have the suit for it.
I don't want to copy Koromoth though, because he might be where we're at, and that would be awkward.
Well, then we might find him, and then we can get our money back.
That is true.
I feel like we're heading down the right direction.
We
Maybe.
get Soloff to help.
How about
He owes us money.
I could be a dragonkin who is part of the Fervent Guard and use that position to funnel artifacts into my black market dealings, and now I'm defecting. And I'm trying to, make a little money.
Mm-hmm.
Good work.
So a red
Yes.
dragonkin?
Yes, that would be fine. And you could actually double. You could pretend that you are defecting, but in fact what you are doing is investigating thefts of Ferventech.
Well, we are doing that. Kinda.
Sort of.
So are you so you are investigating thefts of Ferventech by pretending to be
But
a
this-
black market merchant
So this
of...
this secret second identity on my fake identity, though, I don't want anyone to know.
No,
about.
no, it is very secret.
Right, we just won't talk about it then.
I thought you would understand that.
No, I'm all for it. I'm definitely on board with the secret second identity nested in.
I am just suggesting that because then
It will
would
give
make
my
it
character a little more depth.
and be more consistent with my code.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, but it is secret.
but we
secret.
never mention it again.
Only
it's
to each
secret.
other.
We don't know
about.
who's listening. There's unsavory folks here.
Okay, then this is what we are.
Yep. So, what's a good dragon name?
Billy?
What? I don't know. We met like 3 dragon folk.
Well, how about, well, you could borrow the name of that researcher for Nordfeld.
Yeah.
I believe his name was Artax.
Artax? Yeah, Artificer Artax or something.
Don't make yourself look exactly like him. Perhaps just,
Wouldn't that get him in trouble?
perhaps vaguely like him.
Wouldn't that get him in trouble unless they also know that he's secretly investigating the black market?
Well, you don't want to look exactly like him. You want to change a few features.
Alright, I'll turn into Artax as a start.
Huh?
And he's like a fairly normal sized red dragon
Yeah, yeah.
born. I'll give him. I want to make him look a little tougher, so I'm gonna give him like a big scar.
Goatee?
down the face, and I'll give him a little goatee, like flange, you know, one of those like lizard.
Oh yeah.
So you're like a bearded dragon?
Yeah. I'm a bearded dragon now, and I'm gonna. Did he have horns?
Yeah, he had a couple horns.
One of my horns, I'm gonna have be broken.
All right.
Are you going to be
How's
named
your big horn?
Tax, or will you change it to like Taxar?
Why don't you make it your skin just slightly off? Change the tone.
Like a little. I'm gonna make it a little yellower.
Yes. Now you look vaguely like Artax, slightly different. Enough where someone would maybe be prompted to think of him. And instead of using Artax, how about maybe
T-Tax.
Atrix? Something like that. Play around with the name. You want to give the sense of it. Let them believe that you are the person that they are aware of. And whatever questions they ask, simply say, maybe, perhaps. Never confirm, but never deny.
I'll be Artificer or Tax.
There you go.
Or Tax.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that I can arrange for supplies to be brought here in the morning.
And the breastplate.
Yes, except the supplies.
And what will my name be?
You're my furbog mercenary / maintenance.
Should also be Fred.
That would get really confusing. That's a good idea.
The Fred!
You would not be able to get us confused with each other. You would just say Fred.
Yeah, unless I forget one of your names, then I've forgotten both.
Or Tax and the Freds. Name for a group.
Are you really going to be Fred?
Yes, I am Fred.
I will call you Frederick
Only you can call me Frederick.
because
Because
I'm
you're boss.
paying you.
Yes. 1 gold, please.
No.
So pull out my
Well.
club.
Your
I do
name.
believe that most, in my experience, which is fairly limited, furbog names are like mine. There are 2 names.
It depends. I mean, yeah, what region should he be from?
Well, there are many furbolgs that hail from the northern parts of this continent. Urban Wilds have a few of them. But there are also some furbolgs in Costeria, and there's a few in the Vinian Empire. Pick your choice.
I picked you up while I was delving the Fervin ruins in the north.
I could name myself after another relative.
If you wanted.
Won't that bring dishonor to them?
It's up to you. So, you're from the Free States.
Yes. Fred from the Free
You
States.
should change should he change his voice or anything like that? Put on a different affect? Change his hat?
Probably change the hat, maybe alter your affect slightly. Most people don't relay your individual affectations unless there's something very particular, such as a limp or maybe a hunched posture, something like that.
Want me to change voice?
I don't. Can you even do that?
I can try.
like
Just
trying to-
talk slower.
It's like hearing a British person trying to do an American accent.
So, no good?
I mean,
No.
maybe you got hit on the head a lot as a mercenary.
This
You are-
club hit me hard.
You are speaking yet even more slowly than furbogs. It is most annoying.
But convincing, eh?
I think it's
No.
growing on me. Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely doing something.
What's your voice like?
Yeah, you should change your voice a little. I'm going to be speaking like this
That I will speak yet even lower.
to be more
Yeah,
intimidating.
that's great.
There you are.
I will
Sounds
speak.
good.
I will speak like this very little because it will hurt.
I don't think anyone's going to pick
no.
up on that. And
Olsef talks less.
you sound completely ridiculous. I'm sure that
Want to say that to face? As I swing my trident with my club.
perfect, I think. Absolutely perfect. Well,
Great, we
you've
figured
managed to
it
figure out our
out.
identities.
Yes.
So you need to get the paperwork ready.
Yes.
I will think of a name and I will let you know soon.
Very well. Then if it's alright with the three of you, I'm going to bed down for the evening after ensuring that my officers know what to do. And at this point, you pull up to the ship and they toss over a rope ladder. You climb up. The captain greets some of the crew members, including the two officers he met. His first mate, and starts setting out orders. Sort of goes off and starts taking care of things. One of the crew members comes over. Pardon me, I've been instructed to show you your cabins.
Very well.
Come on with me. And an older gentleman, an elf, walks you down below deck and towards the stern of the ship. You got 3 private cabins back here.
Oh,
Excellent.
much better accommodation than previous ship.
How nice is this ship?
Nice. It's a little hard to see a lot of the details. It's quite dark out. There's clouds in the sky and there's no moon.
And should we need him, where is the captain?
Oh, you can find the captain just by above deck. His quarters are underneath the mast.
Understood.
Are we
Okay.
taking a long rest now?
Can I get you 3? Anything before you bed down? You'll find plenty of accommodations in your quarters.
I understand that provisions are slight.
At the moment, we do have some things.
Any pretzels or croissants?
Sorry, we have neither of those.
Bread and cured ham.
I believe that we do have a few cured meats. I think we're currently running low on bread.
So you who are Fred, would you care
I
for
fall
some
out a few
ham?
huge sacks of
What's
flour.
up with him? Oh, sorry, Fred
That'll
voice.
help.
Okay.
Anything else you guys want to do?
I have a name.
You have a name?
I'm going to be Uther Robert.
With an A.
With an A?
No.
All right, Uther Robert.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then we've got Uther, Fred, and Ortex.
Uther Robert.
Uther, Robert, Fred, Ortex.
Artificer. Vortex.
Of course.
I'm Fred, eh?
Nice to meet you, Fred. I'll get you some of that cured meat. Have it sent up here for you.
Excellent.
If you need anything, there is always deckhand around. Just call out and someone will be down here. Have a nice night.
Thank you.
Makes his way quickly off into the rest of the ship. Find your accommodations are not the nicest place that you've ever stayed, but they're actually fairly well appointed. There's a single bed, each of the quarters, some shelves to, set books on and things, and they close and latch, so that should you hit rough waters, nothing falls out. A stool and desk to work at. Simple, comfortable. This will be your home for a few weeks.
I will get rid of all of that tangy crab food down in the storage. I don't really want to carry it around with me.
So you just take it down to the ship's bowels?
I take it down to like the galley and disperse it into the storage for food.
Oh, man. Something go bad down there. Oh! I gotta clean out the storage again. Shit.
I tried.
I will move on from my introductory Fervent Tech brochure to to the two books that I have written in Glendranian.
Okay.
Look at them and pick the one that seems to be, next in terms of my developing skills.
Okay.
And do some Fervent Tech learning for my new text.
And I will end the night with lockpicking.
Then everyone give me a roll. Since you all seem to be practicing.
36.
Okay.
27 on the zipper.
Okay.
46. And we've had a long day, so.
You've been down, finally having escaped Krebstadt. And gotten into quite a few hijinks along the way.
Well, we haven't left yet, have we?
Well, because we're
We're
going
leaving
back
and coming
forth.
back.
So,
Do we pass by the Voices ship on the way out?
well, you haven't left yet.
No.
You still gotta wait till provisioning tomorrow morning.
Well, aren't we leaving and then coming back?
Yes, but only by a mile or two.
Oh,
Just over the
Just over
horizon.
just over the horizon
And then
back.
back
Yes.
after changing sails and stuff.
The calm waters beneath you cause the ship to gently rock from side to side as you sail along. You find yourself having another restful night, continuing to trust in the interesting fare that you've purchased so long ago now in Nordfeld as your apparent long-term companion, Captain Bob, who has been with you for almost 20 sessions at this point.
Wow.
And sometimes we forget he's there.
And
Sails on into-
Adamor is with me, right?
Adamor has disappeared into the ship and returned with some bits of what look like straw, something, maybe some from the storage in the ship. Made himself a little bed, and continues to add to it anytime he can find a little bit of fluff.
Keep your eye out for 1,000 gold value agate, because eventually I could use the spell Awaken on this otter and let it actually speak in Glendragon.
Okay. Perhaps we will find one.
Sorry, make a perception check.
Can I guidance, or is this an unknown?
No, this is unknown.
12.
Okay. The night passes, and you're getting some quiet rest as the sun starts to come up. That's where we'll end today's session. Well, I'm glad you guys finally were able to leave Krebstadt, get out of that city. Boy, did you stir up a pot of shit in that one. I've DM'd many. I've been a DM for more than 2 decades. I've never had an excuse to use artillery on players. That was pretty interesting. I liked having a good reason to open fire on a beachhead. You guys running into a cave. Yeah, that was a good couple of. I had fun the last 2 sessions. There was a whole bunch of. You guys managed to go through those caves and avoid all of the things that could have killed you. All of them.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That also means that we probably missed some cool ass shit.
Well, we do have that whole pile of metal, shiny things we got out of
Yeah,
the
I have.
clam. We have to sort through that
I have like 80 pounds of it.
of stuff.
Yes, I know. I crawled into a crab or a
A giant clam to
mouth
get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to sort through that sometime tomorrow.
If only our characters will have time to do so.
We have 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know, but I'll probably get distracted.
Fishing. Fishing.
Dancing.
Midnight buffet.
Did we get a long rest?
Yeah, you guys can count this as a long rest. That's perfectly fine. So, I hope you 3 enjoy all being in the studio together and being able to see each other. by
Smell
turning
each
your
other.
heads.
Hear me without interruption.
See you in HD. I like that.
No one likes that.
I like actually being able to see like your whole person,
Not just a little.
not just like
Head.
this bit.
Not my Zordoning.
Yeah,
No.
it's pretty nice. So, and I hope everyone watching at home enjoys this new layout. I hope you like the new art and this new presentation. We'll probably be making a couple tweaks here and there to some of this stuff, bringing a little bit more elaborate elements to it. We're not done. We still have some ideas that we're gonna play out over the next couple of weeks and months. So thank you again for watching. Remember, there's a giveaway going on for Fizzban's Treasury of Dragons. That is going to be available on the 5th.
December 5th.
December 5th is the
Announcement.
giveaway announcement for the winner. So you have until midnight on December 4th to follow us on Instagram and send us a message, Fizzban.
If you're 18 or older and a resident of the United States.
Yes. Thanks, everybody. See you soon. Love you.
Bye.
Okay.